Hey everybody, it's Ron, and today I'm going to be talking about episode 2 of Swamp Thing, and it's canceled. I can't believe it, or at least that's what everybody's been reporting. I looked at some pretty credible websites, and everybody's reporting that it's canceled just after one episode aired, and I'm really pissed off actually because I like this show. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if it's because of like the DC Universe app isn't doing as well as they thought as far as the shows go. I think it might be the first one they did was Titans, which I think was kind of a misfire because you have a name like Titans, people are gonna think it's the Teen Titans, so they're gonna go into it thinking it's gonna be a family friendly thing, and then all of a sudden you got Robin dropping f bombs and. I think that kind of hurt them. So yeah, that really sucks to hear. I know that they originally had 13 episodes for this season, but they cut it down to 10, and I guess that was the first bad sign to come. But this episode was, again, it was solid. I love the location. I love the swamp sets. It looks great. The production, everything looks awesome. The Swamp Thing suit is fantastic. We get to see it a little bit lit up in this. There's awesome body horror in this. There's a scene where he's pretty much he doesn't know what happened to him, obviously, and he's trying to rip off his skin, and it just looks gruesome. It looks awesome, and he also rips off the top of his head. It's just so cool looking. The show is actually legitimately creepy too, which I didn't expect. There was a couple of times when I jumped in this episode. To be honest, it was pretty good. All right, so I'm going to talk about spoilers from here on out, so if you don't want to hear them, you can duck out now. But we know from last episode that they were looking into this bioaccelerant that was going around in the swamp, and they didn't know. It was a big mystery. The little girl, Susie, who was in the hospital last episode, I'm pretty sure it was her father got infected with it, and that was that crazy creature from last episode. She seems to have some sort of bond with whatever's going on with the accelerant, and she can kind of feel Swamp Thing as he's going through the swamp trying to figure out what the hell happened to him, what he's become. So Abby pretty much thinks Alex is totally dead, and she's still looking into this accelerant, trying to figure out what happened. She ends up going to Avery Sunderland's house to see if she could get access to his lab, Alex's lab. And we kind of find out that he's a piece of shit. He's not going to let her go in and do anything. So she's pretty much on her own. There's a nice little drama there with that family because the mother, I think her name is Maria, blames Abby for the death of her daughter years ago when they were teenagers. That was cool too. I thought Madame Xanadu, which is a character from the comics, I thought she was just kind of like an Easter egg in the first episode at that bar, but she comes back here and has a really cool, scary scene, actually, with Maria. And that was really cool. And she kind of brings the mystical element to this show, which is interesting. And, she was saying that there's the light and dark is off balance. We also got a cameo from David Cassidy, Blue Devil in the comic, which I thought was pretty sweet. I don't think they're going to do anything with that, especially now that there's only 10 episodes and they canceled it. So I think that's just a fun little nod to DC Comics fans. But yeah, that was pretty cool. The end of this was awesome. Really cool. The girl ends up leaving the hospital because she's pretty much being summoned by this accelerant and whatever is in it that draws her to Swamp Thing, and she's being chased with this guy with this, I think it's like a machete. It was pretty cool. And Swamp Thing grabs the guy and just rips him apart with all the roots because he can control all that stuff. It was great. I loved it. I think it's just gruesome enough. It's awesome. Another thing real quick that I like is all the locations. So all the stores they go to when they went to David Cassidy, he owns like a record shop. And I love how everything's on the water. It's just a really unique look for a show, especially a comic book show. And that's why I like a lot of the Swamp Thing comics too, because it's just a different setting. It's refreshing. It's not like every comic book TV show or just regular comic where everything's in a city and it's very urban. This is cool. This is really different, and I'm digging it. So anyway, getting back to the episode, Abby she sees the Swamp Thing for the first time, and she's in shock, and she thinks that it's the creature's going to be a danger to Susie, but she says it's okay, and she grabs her. They get on the boat, and then that's when Susie says to her that the thing talked to her, and it said his name was Alec. So I'm wondering if, like before I said in my first review, I'm wondering if they're going with the Alan Moore thing, where they're going to have him just think he's Alec Holland because of all his memories and everything was fused with him. But we'll see what happens. I really dig this. I'm sad that it's canceled. Hopefully they'll hear some of the good responses and bring it back for a season 2. That'd be great. Oh, I forgot one thing. Jason Woodrue. It was revealed that he gave the accelerant to Sunderland, which is awesome because that's the Floronic Man, and hopefully he gets to do something in this series before it ends. That would be awesome too. All right, so like and subscribe if you're digging the content, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.